Kamali, we've had 6 boats that have come ashore, but just in the last few minutes we can tell you that a 7th boat, we believe, has now come ashore here in Lesvos. But this boat has been out to sea and in distress for many, many hours. The migrants on the boat have been waving their hands at naval ships and the Coast Guard, trying to get some assistance, but it appeared for hours that nobody was helping them. Nobody came to their aid as they bobbed around in the ocean for what's probably been maybe 5 hours now. Eventually we saw some vision of a rescue ship. We're not sure which rescue ship, but someone has gone finally to their aid and brought those migrants to shore. But we now understand that some very angry locals here in Lesvos are preventing the refugees from coming ashore to be processed. We've also heard that those locals have have ousted the aid agencies who were on the shore to help those refugees, and they're preventing anyone from coming to their aid. Things are getting very tense here in Lesvos, Kamali.
Absolutely. Melinda, a worrying development there that they're now preventing people coming ashore on those boats. As we've been reporting for the past week or so, there have been developing protests against the migrants coming to Lesvos. So what facilities are there for these people that are arriving? Their migration centre there on Lesvos is already over capacity.
It is, Kamali. The Moria Reception Centre was built to house about 3,000 people. It now has more than 20,000 people overflowing from that facility, to the point where people are now having to live in the olive groves under tarps and in makeshift tents in the surrounding areas from that reception centre. The migrants who have arrived today, we believe almost 270 of them, half of that number are children, were supposed to be processed very quickly on the shores and then taken by bus to Moria. But some locals have also been blocking the road to the Moria Reception Centre, which means that the transportation of refugees to that centre for processing has now been delayed, which means that the migrants are in their wet clothes with small children still sitting on the shores in Lesvos for hours and hours waiting for someone to come to pick them up to take them to Moria.
Melinda, can you give us some clarity? There's been some reporting of messages being sent by the Greek authorities warning people who are attempting to try and cross into Europe, messages sent directly to people's phones. What can you tell us about that?
I'm going to read you out a message that I received. Now, the interesting thing about that is that it's come from a Turkish phone number, but it says it is a message from Greek authorities. We're still working to try and verify where this exactly came from, but it's also being circulated on social media saying that no one can cross the Greek border and all those attempting illegal entry will effectively be prevented from entering. It says that the numbers cited by Turkish authorities of the number of people trying to cross the border is false and misleading. Now, we should clarify that we haven't independently been able to confirm whether that is the case and whether those numbers are false or not, and what the official line is. Obviously, from the Turkish media, is that it's a very, very high number. Greece says it's not the case, but those messages, quite concerning.